Well, today's the day. We're going to head up to Hughes Ranch and finally meet Toby to finally get Zeus scored by Buckmasters. So me and Josh, we're going to head up. It's about a 2.5 hour drive up there. So we're going to head up there and see what he finally scores out at.
So give me the story on this thing.
So started in 2022. I got first pictures of him. He was like he was a mainframe 12. Well, I'd say a 6x5 because he had a little G5 starting on the other side. And I was already after one of my target bucks that year, so I didn't really pay much attention. That year, he was, I don't know, probably pushing 135, 140 that year. Yeah. So I let him get the pass, and then the next year, I didn't get any pictures of him the rest of that year. Didn't find his sheds or nothing. The next year, he showed back up at July 27th, and he was
a giant.
He put on 40 plus inches.
No kidding.
Yeah. Which I have a lot of the pictures of him that he put on. He absolutely blew up that year.
Yeah, that's neat.
So I put everything at him. I was going to go after him that year, and he was just an unpredictable deer. You just couldn't predict where he was coming from. He never used the same trail. So I actually took a little break and then took my son hunting, and he ended up getting a really good one. He shot 169 inch deer.
No kidding. Wow.
So
how old is he?
He was 7 at the time when he shot it.
Jeez.
But it was a deer he was after the year before, so it was it was hard. He put his time in and everything. He helped me feed, put mineral out, so he deserved it. The year before he couldn't shoot it because it wouldn't give him a broadside shot, but that year he did a good job. So then after that I kind of put everything after him, and I just couldn't seem to get on him. And then people would call me saying, "Hey, the deer you're after is 4 or 5 miles down the road."
No
chasing
kidding.
does in the field. So I'm like, oh man.
2 measurements that don't mean anything. 8.4 on the tip to tip. And then overall spread. .22 or 21.5. That don't mean anything. Just his overall width. 2 points of identification. Inside spread. Whatever you do. Now he's tilted back. This beam here goes back farther. It cocks him that way. So you got to stay parallel with the eyes. 90 degrees from the center line of the skull. As much as you can. You can't do this number.
Okay.
Right there's going to be it. Would you guys say you had him at 17?
Mm-hmm.
He's 16 and 6/8. Love the coloring of this thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like somebody rubbed wood stain on it. Seen a lot of dark antlers this year, though. Okay, right main beam, 26 1/8. Switch sides. Man, I swear you can comb your hair with this thing. Yeah, this left antler really takes it.
Yeah, we didn't know if it got like injured in velvet, like how it swoops back real far.
Yeah, it does. It carries backwards kind of far. Back this way. This one's probably going to be longer, just looking at it.
I think I forget what we had on that one. It's 27 and something.
Yep, 27.4. Pretty good. Now I'm going to stay on the right antler, just pick things off, work my way up the tree. One inch. You have to have a fat, strong 1 inch to be qualified as a point. And I'm going to measure over the outside curvature to determine that. Like these right here come straight out of the burr, so I'm going to lay that right on top. Then follow the outside. One 7/8. So, to determine my point count and keep track of what I'm doing, measure both sides of this, see which one's longer. Lay my fingernail right on the tip. Okay, that side is 2 5/8. Same, 2 5/8. I'd say a deer like that can go pretty substantial score. What did you guys come up with?
216 5/8.
Really? Wow. Sure am pretty. Okay. Not quite a 16th, so another 2 5/8. Now, like I said, this one here is the abnormal, because that one is in a better position to match this one as the eye guard.
Yeah.
Okay. Brow tine, Lori. Following that ridge, that main seam right down. I'm always looking for that fat ridge and using that as an angle guide. 3-4. And right down in his pocket, I'm going to aim for that ridge. See how this is bladed front back here? This ridge right here is the meat and potatoes I'm looking for.
Okay.
Once you slip, you start over, correct? Man, I love the coloring of this.
And he is dark. He does got a dark rack.
Yeah.
That's like most of the deer I take off at farm, they don't have. I mean, he's got a real dark rack compared to the rest of them.
Abnormal. Haha, there it is. 10-4, good buddy. That's a good luck charm. You got a 10-4 or 24-7. Okay, did you find a piece of scrap paper? Okay. I'm going to do this shared base first. Okay, this would be the P2. We call them P's instead of G's. P's for points, C's for circumference.
Okay.
G's and H's are A, B, C, D, E, F, G line item ticket on a Boone and Crockett score sheet. So, that's all it is. 8, 4. I'm going to use that cable because get around that. These big typicals are pretty much standard fare, right? Some of the simplest scoring there is.
You've probably had some pretty tough ones this year, haven't you?
That velvet one was tough. Couldn't draw baselines on it. Tape wouldn't stick to it. I'd do everything by hand.
How many points was that?
40.
40.
11, 1. Imagine measuring a rabbit with 40 legs, kicking and squirming.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Might as well finish out the rest of them. Man, that's almost like 2 and 1 right there. Seeing that.
We didn't count that one.
But you can. Let me show you a little trick. Remember how I said you do stuff to always favor the deer?
Mm-hmm.
You got a baseline right here, right? If you measure this as the main tine, which is kind of argue both ways. Watch this.
I got you now.
You know where I'm going with this?
Yeah.
So you add this as a point.
Oh my.
1, 7. And then you cut this point off of this one. So this is the mother, that's the daughter.
Yep.
You're almost doubling your length right there.
I got you there, yeah. I never did think of it like that.
So yeah, it's got its own body.
Yeah.
It's almost like a finger laid on a finger, but one short. But this one, longer one, what looks longer, is actually coming off of this one.
Okay.
So if I take this one as kind of a baseline right across there, kind of isolates that from this. Then you get another 1.5 inches, 1 4/8. Make sense?
Yeah.
I'm here for you, man.
I got you. I appreciate it.
I mean, that makes perfect sense to me.
Yeah.
I mean, without it, if you thought this one all the way out like that, can you see that on that camera angle? This is stuff you got to think about. I mean, you got to use your judgment and be confident enough with that to sign your name to it.
Yeah.
So that's what I see. That's the stuff I look for.
Yeah. I mean, I see it now that you're pointing it out.
Yeah. Okay, that's all. Both of these are abnormals, correct? I'm just going to finish what I got and come back to this method here. You can change it on the typewriter. P1, 2, 3, P4. 9, 2. 3, 4.
3, 4.
Yes, ma'am. So while we're on that method, I'm going to go ahead and finish this right angle. Both ways.
Okay.
Now on a circumference, you have to use a 1/4 inch steel tape. Granny's 1/2 inch sewing tape won't cut it. Same tool for every deer. Gives you a fair assessment, right?
Yeah.
So there's 5 inches. I'm going to search for the smallest between the bird and the brow tine. 5.2. He's going to wedge up from there, and he does. So 5.0. 4.1. Well, this is where things get interesting. Since I took these full line to a shared base, and yes, they are typical tines. Just because they're shared base does not mean that one has to be abnormal.
Okay.
It doesn't have to be. It's in a normal position. It has a match on the other side all the way down. And it sets the top. The main beam comes off the top in a typical fashion. So I'm going to score this as P1 or P2, P3.
Okay.
Same thing as a John the King rule.
Yep.
But what we do is if you take these full length shared base, you don't pull a circumference in between. You use this one to carry it forward. So that was 5 inches.
4-1.
This one?
The first one was that.
Yeah, you're right. 4-1. Put 4-1 again to cover that. So C1, 2, at 3 to cover this. C4 would be right here at 4.0. Okay. And what is the total inches of that right antler? I wish I could run a calculator like that. So what I'm going to do while she's doing that.
79.2.
Okay. I'm going to cut these off at the web. Okay. So we're going to change the P2 length is now 8 inches.
Okay.
This dude's going to be roughly 10.4. Okay. And then I'm going to pull a circumference right there. And you've got 5 6/8. Whichever way that benefits the deer, that's the one we're going to use. Survey said?
79.6. So the second way is better.
By pulling that circumference. Okay, that's what we want to know. So I cut the baseline here to here, and then did pull the circumference. It's rare that it does that.
Well, you lost 4/8 here. So you lost a 1/2 inch there. There you lost 4 5. But you gained 1 and 5.
On the circumference.
So you gain 1.5 inches. No.
What's the total of the antler? That's what you're gonna gain. The second route.
So if I do.
A lot of guys won't take the time to do it both ways.
Yeah. I appreciate it.
Like I said, we're here for you, man.
2.
It's a lot to keep track of. That's why I got a secretary.
3, 4,
Good buddy.
9, 2.
How long you guys been married?
I'll let her answer that. 26 years.
Let me think.
26.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and she sat through so many deer scoring sitting here, me doing this night after night
I
after
can
night.
really imagine.
It's like you can't beat them, join them. So she became a scorer too. It's like,
Yeah.
I can do that. I can do that. Probably better than you.
I think, what was it the day? When did I call you? Last week sometime.
I
man?
think so, yeah.
You said you had 9 deer to score that day?
No, they must have been a Saturday then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so that's right. Alright.
Look how offset he is.
Yeah, like this. Like, it's like he did something in velvet.
Yeah. I mean, it's got a bulge here.
Mm-hmm.
And those two are tilted or curved over that same way.
You can really tell it from the top.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's his biggest sign.
I'm holding this skull level. This skull is level. You can see how offset he is. And it's almost like this whole beam was bent backwards here.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And if he got startled or stood up in velvet, and normally that's how acorns come on.
Sorry.
is a
See, you would
compression
see him, and
correction.
he would always have, vines wrapped around his.
He's into the jump.
Yeah.
Now. Yeah. He's probably bedding up in entanglement then. Okay, left side. Yeah, that's the same as the Johnny King rule. That's why Johnny King's #1 perfect in our book. Okay. The Hansen buck is number 22 in our book. It's not #1 by our rules. Boone and Crockett, that's like a beauty contest. You can't find a prettier deer than the Hansen buck.
Mm-hmm.
But there's 21 other deer that outscore it with this method.
I gotcha.
Yeah. And all it is no deductions, right?
I mean, I don't like what a deer has is what it has.
Yeah.
That's how I feel.
Answer for fish.
Yeah.
We measure every deer the same method. Determine typical tines versus abnormal tines, and then we let the math determine its category, not your opinion.
Yeah. That's like, I don't even know if I'm going to get scored by Boone and Crockett, to be honest with you.
You pay for disappointment, it's up to you.
Because, I mean, you're taking away from what this deer actually has.
I would assume they would do that non-typical with all the extras that he's got on it.
Yeah, especially this. I mean,
Yeah, that's going to hurt you.
if they use the typical score sheet, you're losing all of that because they're only going to gross the main frame.
Yep.
And then they're going to start taking off that towards this. So a Boone and Crockett typical gross is not what you think. It's just the main frame.
Yep.
And then everything else is going to count as a penalty.
But if they do it as a non-typical, all of that'll count. They'll just do the side-to-side deductions.
Exactly. He'd score better as a non-typical.
Yeah.
1.7 abnormal. Little peanut, isn't he cute?
Just like mine.
Yeah. Got enough curvature. Okay. It's hard to get one to get.
Yeah, there's that one up there we got.
Nice. Oh my. Look how thick he is.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
1.7 abnormal. Let me see. Gee whiz.
Yeah.
Man, that is thick.
That was a deer he was after for 2 years, and he finally got it.
Nice.
Everybody thought I was crazy for letting him shoot it.
Love it when it happens, though. Hey.
That's why you do it.
I know.
Yeah.
I mean, that's probably one of the best hunts I've ever been on. Like after he shot, he knew he smoked it, and he started crying, and like he was high five. It was the best. It was the best moment I've ever had.
Yeah. It's all worth it then.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, man.
Getting the kids into it. That's what I mean. That's what it's all about.
I notice a lot of big time deer hunters that kill that one big one, then they turn their efforts to their kids. 5.5 abnormal, and that's cool because you've already achieved the highest level. You might as well. Catch that curvature with my incremented side. Yeah, it's got too much of a divot there. Right there. Right down there. 8-1. Confident with that.
Brow.
Yes, ma'am. $10.7. Oh, you got a chip in it. Surprised you ain't broken more than that.
Yeah, I know.
9-1. Yeah. 8-3. And fat 16th will get me 5.5. Sometimes I don't want to lay it on that burr, man. He's got a high burr right there. 5, 6. Five. 4-2, 4-2, 4-2. Yep, 4-2. 5-1. 4-4. That's it, boys. She already knows the score because that thing does tallies up the math as you go.
What'd you guys say you got?
216 and 5/8.
Now let's go over the whole sheet.
Here
Thank
you
you. So, how many scoreable points? 13 on the right, 9 on the left. Abnormal point total. He's got 31 3/8 inch of abnormals. Total mass measurements. This is interesting because he doesn't really look that massive till you get out here and you get the webbing and then that one sheared base there. 38 3/8 on mass measurements, which a good solid 200 incher will carry 40 inches of mass. Dude. Okay, the right antler, if that was a shed, 101 6/8 inches. The left antler, fairly close match, 98 4/8. So, adding those two together, he's a 200 inch deer without spread. So, that's top end of my category that I keep track of. 200 inch without spread. So you add a 16 and 6/8 inch inside spread, he's right at 217 on the nose.
Awesome.
So you guys are pretty close on your scoring.
Deal.
So now this is where we let the math determine that 31 3/8 divided by 200 2/8. That's his total inches without spread, 202, or 200 2/8. He's 15.6% abnormal. Anything over 10% is in the irregular category.
Okay.
So we have four instead of typical, non-typical. How non-typical is he? 15.6%. and that puts him in one of 4 categories based on that percentage. So, compound bow buck, he's only going to be ranked against other compound bow bucks. He won't be ranked against high-end rifle bucks and all that stuff. So we are weapon specific, category specific. So his ranking will be compound bow, irregular, greater than 10%, and his ranking number would be 200 inch and 2/8. That's his ranking number. VTR score is an official score. Both numbers are on your certificate and in the regular book, with spread, without spread. We rank them without spread. Official score, 217. Congratulations, buddy.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it, Toby.
Yeah,
I do.
good buck.
Thank you.
These big typicals, man. Like, wow, would you look at there?
That's awesome.
Yeah, that is cool. What I want to do, it's important when you take rack pictures to be at the deer's nose level. I want to cut the groceries out too.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry.
Get this fired up. And I want to look for, yeah, that's a good position right there. Well, it's got the logo in it. All right, quartering towards the fridge. And if you can pinch him and not wrap him.
Oh, like this.
Yeah. Gee whiz, there's a money shot. Okay. Now, let's see. Let's go hardcore left and right side. Okay, and get your tines going up your nose. Other side. Yee. Are you seeing this? Mm-hmm. All right, now, my favorite, one of them, straight down like that.
Nice.
Lift the whole thing up. Yeah, right there. You can smile, dude, really.
Looks like angel wings.
Now straight from the back, just like he's running away from me.
Oh,
Push him all the way around and tip him more right there. Man, they got good pictures there. I don't even need your field pictures. This is good enough.